Okay, thank you everyone. So last class was on the chapter that is coal and petroleum. Okay, and I have discussed the byproducts of coal, that is the what is coal tar, what is coal gas, okay, and what is coke. These are discussed in detail. Now the next part, that is come to petroleum. Now petroleum, it is basically obtained from the dead sea animals. The basic the formation is basically same, just like the when they are died, they are settled at the bottom or at the underground of that, and over there the sand layer, the clay layer are there, the layers are formed, and then there is a natural calamities are there, the disaster, which makes these dead animals to move to a very deep to the earth crust, where the temperature and pressure is so high that they are converted to a thick and liquid, which having the pungent smell, and this thick liquid is called as petroleum. Now if you breaks the word today is petroleum, if you breaks the word petra, the meaning of petra is rock, and oleum that is oil. So the oil which is extracted from the rock, and if you see the picture at page number 59, at the page number 59 you can see a reservoir rock is there. Okay, so this reservoir rock supplies the petroleum when we weld it up. Okay, so the petra means rock and oleum means oil, so rock oil. Okay, so okay, thank you Sneha. Yes, rock oil. Next one, that is, this is the primary idea about petroleum. Now in which of the areas where the petroleums are found basically in India, do you know in which areas of India the petroleum is basically found? In northeastern part, in the southern part, and also in the east India, and the north and the south, in the Assam and the Krishna and Godavari river delta, and also Gujarat and Mumbai high. These are the areas where petroleum are there. This is about the preliminary idea. Next one is that, so how would you define petroleum? How do you define petroleum? Petroleum is a fossil fuel. Petroleum is a fossil fuel. Petroleum is a fossil fuel formed from the remaining of ancient marine organism, formed from the remaining of dead marine organism. This is the definition of petroleum. Clear? Next one. So from there the question is how petroleum is formed. You can this is well discussed, and this is also given on your NCERT textbook. The world first oil well was drilled on the Peninsula in USA in 1859, and 8 years later in India, that is in Makum in Assam in India. Okay. And also Assam, Gujarat, Mumbai High and the river basin of Godavari and Krishna are the origin of petroleum here. Now next point is that is petroleum is directly used or not. Just for example, the coal and just think about the byproducts, that is the coke or the coal gas, the coal tar, they are easily formed, or there is some manufacturing process, there are some definite path to produce these products. Okay. So petroleum, as it is a combination of huge number of compounds, basically they are hydrocarbons from a large number of carbon atom to a small number of carbon atom. Now what is hydrocarbon? Hydrocarbon is the compound of carbon and hydrogen. As for example, the woods, or the plant bodies, they are basically having the carbon contents which helps them to burn. So here the hydrocarbon is there, or mixture of hydrocarbon is there, which burns to produce the heat or the energy. Now at different temperature, suppose we are heating the petroleum, there is a definite process. Now when we are that is the fractional distillation or steam fractional distillation. So when we distillate means heating the substance, then what happened, according to the molecular weight they will be evaporate, and when they evaporate they form a class of compounds. These class of compounds are named in different ways, that is the petrol, the kerosene, the diesel, the naphtha, etc. These are all byproducts of petroleum. Not only these, the gases we are used in our household, that is also a mixture of propane and butane, it is also coming out from the petroleum. For this reason it is as LPG, liquefied petroleum gas. Okay. Now next is that why refining is required. So refining is required to utilize it or to make a proper way to use, so that the total energy can be used in a fruitful way. Okay. So the next topic is the petroleum refinery. Refining. So here in the last topic in coal we have discussed about destructive distillation, that is heating the coal in absence of air. Here fractional distillation process is used. Fractional distillation is that we have to heat the substance in a definite temperature range. Suppose we have fixed the temperature from 10 degree to 50 degree. The substance which will evaporate, it should be collected, then 50 degree to 100 degree, then 100 to 150 degree. In that way 150 to 200 degree. So at different temperature range, the substance which will evaporate from that crude oil will be collected separately, and these having a definite name. So these names are, we know about the petrol, the diesel, the kerosene, the naphtha, and many more products are there. Paraffin wax. Okay. So these are the importance of refining the petroleum. Okay. So the refining of petroleum, and what is petroleum refinery? That is from crude petroleum oil to different byproducts of petroleum is done, at which factory is called as petroleum refinery. and you can see the picture of petroleum refinery. It is also having in Assam or Mumbai High, Gujarat, these petroleum refineries are there. Okay. So, this is petroleum refinery. Now, coming to the various constituents of petroleum and their uses, which is given in a chart form. Okay. Now, see that petroleum gas is a mixture of hydrocarbon, petroleum gas. It is having two different ranges, that is the lower mass and higher mass. Lower mass basically having C3 to C5 and higher mass, that is C7 to C9. What is C3, C5, C7, C9? This will be understood later on. This is lower mass and this is higher mass. Okay, they are in gaseous form, so this is called petroleum gas. Okay. Next one, petrol, kerosene, diesel. Black gold is called, the petroleum is also called black gold. Here is mentioned also. Diesel, lubricating oil. What is the importance of lubricating oil? That is lubrication. It is used in the engine, that is in the internal combustion engine to minimize the frictional force, and also that having a capacity to absorb heat. What is the role of lubricating oil? Number one, that is minimizes the frictional force. Okay. And second one, that is it absorbs the heat, because a large heat amount is generated, and if the heat directly hits the metallic part, then it will be breaks. It will breaks when the heat amount is so high. It will, the temperament of the materials or the metal will be not so, maybe not so high. So, this will be break. Next one is paraffin wax. What is paraffin wax? It is a soft colorless solid derived from petroleum. Write it, paraffin wax. Write it, paraffin wax. What is paraffin wax? It is a soft colorless solid, a soft colorless solid derived from petroleum. Clear? It is a soft mixture of hydrocarbon. This part is not needed for you. It is only mixture of hydrocarbon, that is petroleum gas. And write it, paraffin wax. What is paraffin wax? It is soft colorless solid derived from petroleum or coal tar. Coal tar was discussed on the last class. Coal tar. It is solid at room temperature. It is solid at room temperature, but melts above approx 37 degree centigrade. Write it. Colorless. After colorless, it is solid. Paraffin wax, a soft colorless solid, colorless, tasteless, odorless. No color, no taste, no odor, no smell. So, a soft colorless, tasteless, odorless solid derived from petroleum or coal tar, full stop. It is solid at room temperature, but melts above 37 degree centigrade. It is also a mixture of hydrocarbon, but this is not required for you. When it is derived from petroleum, it obviously having the carbon contents. Okay, I am coming to the bitumen. Completed paraffin works. Okay, this I will tell you when we will complete the chapter, then I will tell you at what temperature range what products are obtained. Okay, Chandranath. First complete the text part. Okay, I am rubbing it. Next part, paraffin works, then bitumen. What is bitumen? Bitumen is also a thick liquid having black in color. It is basically obtained from the coal tar and also from petroleum. Okay. Now, bitumen, the uses is paints, road surfacing. Paints, that is the coal tar, which is used in Bengal, it is called alcatra, or in the road surfacing. Okay. These are bitumen. You can see that it is just of a thick mass of black in color. Okay. So, these are the petroleum. Next is that what is natural gas. Before going to that, I want to tell you what is naphtha. Now, naphtha is the mother compound which is formed from petroleum, and the petroleum refineries, as for example, you know 4 types of coal. In the same way, petroleum which is obtained or which is driven out from the earth crust having different composition, which one may be very weighty, which one is not so weighty. The weighty means here the large mass is there. Now, the refineries, it depends on the refineries from which petroleum, which products are basically obtained, or for example, the carbon contents are maximum in the anthracite type of coal. Now, depending on the number of carbon atom, the number of compounds, depending on the compounds, the extraction is also depends. For this reason, naphtha is the mother compound which is basically obtained from all refineries. Now, what is naphtha? Write it. Naphtha is not naphthalene. Naphtha is a flammable liquid hydrocarbon mixture. Naphtha is a flammable liquid mixture of hydrocarbon. Naphtha is a mixture of hydrocarbon. Mixture, it may be produced from petroleum or natural gas. It is produced from petroleum, coal tar or natural gas. Okay. So, naphtha is a flammable liquid mixture of hydrocarbon. It is produced from petroleum, coal tar or natural gas. Okay. bitumen, write it, the bitumen a thick or a highly dense liquid, obtained from coal tar or petroleum. It is basically it is black in color. Highly dense liquid obtained from coal tar or petroleum. It is black in color, and in use you will write for road surfacing, for paints, etc. No one will left because attendance is still left. In book it is written that it is only petroleum product. Which one? Bitumen. But it is also obtained from coal tar. Okay. So, as it is written in the only coal tar, only petroleum, so you can write it only petroleum, but it is not compulsory.